hit like and subscribe. You're watching the Marc Lamont Hill official YouTube channel.
Good morning, Ekaro. Welcome back to Ascending. I am your very happy host, April R. Silver. This is Independence weekend, and we're going to deal with independence in a very, very unique way. I'm so happy for the show that you are about to experience. We're going to be talking about independence, and the focus is going to be for the love of Haiti. So just buckle up. I can tell you that right now. But how we want you to tell us from where you are ascending. We want you to know that you are welcome here. Always, I want to give a shout out to all of the viewers from all over the world who are watching Ascending right now. I want to definitely give a shout out to our regulars. I want you to shout out from where you are ascending, put it in the chat like we always do. And if you are watching on Marc Lamont Hill's Twitter feed, thank you for watching, but we need you, as we always say, go over from Twitter to Marc Lamont Hill Official on YouTube. It's the easiest way to support this independent Black media space, the easiest way to switch from his Twitter feed to YouTube, because the show today, For the Love of Haiti, we're going to be talking to an amazing guest, someone who I respect tremendously, have worked with as students, as professionals, and this story that we're going to focus on today is very timely. There's historical context, there's cultural context, there's breaking news context with regard to our beloved family and friends in Haiti and in the diaspora. So buckle up, I can tell you that now, and put your questions in the chat too as we go forward. So definitely, let's get into our regulars, right? Let's get into bookmark. Now we have two bookmarks today. The first bookmark that we have is going to be, sorry, I just have to do it. You all won't be mad, but we're going to shout out Edwidge Danticat, who is a Haitian novelist and writer, and she has a new book out called We're Alone Essays. Now, if you've been watching the show, you know that I'm always talking about her. We've done her as a featured bookmark before, but not this one. Now, typically when I do bookmark, I've read the book, right? So I can share my passion. This one I've not yet read, but it's Edwidge, so we know it's amazing. This came out, maybe about 6 or 7 months ago, so definitely get that. In support of our Haitian brothers and this Haitian sister in particular. Yo, for real, let me say, I was looking for the picture of me and Edwidge and I couldn't find it. So I'm mad and happy at the same time. One, that I have a picture with her. I moderated her on a conversation a couple of years ago in Philadelphia, but I'm happy about that, but mad that I couldn't flex and show you. The second bookmark I definitely wanted to put out there is this is not a Haitian writer, but a new writer to the scene. Her name is Safia Sinclair. She is from Jamaica, and so this is a extra bookmark. How to Say Babylon. I first learned about this book from the Center for Black Literature at Medgar Evers College in the Republic of Brooklyn. So shout out to the Center for Black Literature and their book club. That's how I found out about the book quite a little while ago. I read the book, mesmerized. She has entered the scene as a new writer pretty amazingly so. Very, very powerful book. And it's the story of her coming of age and her struggle with growing up as Rastafari. And just the struggles, the contradictions, the beauty of that culture, the contradictions, what was oppressive, her relationship with her father, her family. It was pretty amazing. So I definitely wanted to do that. And so regular weekly reminder, when you buy your books, buy them from a Black owned bookstore, be it a physical bookstore or online, right? So we definitely want to shout out Uncle Bobby's, of course, because many of you know The owner of this channel, the one who has given me this amazing opportunity, Marc Lamont Hill, my brother, he owns a bookstore in Philadelphia, Uncle Bobby's, and since 2017, actually. So you can order online from Uncle Bobby's. If you're in the Philly area, you can go to Uncle Bobby's and support. And it's not just books, it's not just coffee, but it's also education and community programming. So we definitely wanted to shout out our brother on that one. So I think we are ready, especially if you're switching over from Twitter to YouTube. I think you are ready. If you've already hit the like button, thank you. If you've already told your people about the show, thank you. So let's get into it. We are going to welcome to the stage my dear sister, MarieYolaine Toms from Community to Community. Yes, there you are. How are you, sis? I think we don't have audio.
For that.
There we go.
I was so excited. I was on mute.
You're never on mute. You're a fire starter. There's no such thing. Even when you're quiet, you're not on mute, right? Your energy and your passion is so powerful that we heard you. You didn't even know we heard you.
Thank you. I'm glad you could feel me.
Yes, you're a fire starter. We always feel you. Welcome, sis. It's so good to have you with us.
Thank you, April. Thanks for having me on. Thanks for thinking of me. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, I'll say this. I'm gonna be honest and transparent. We had a different show in mind this week, right? But with all of the fuckery, language alert. If you're new to Ascending, I curse, but not a lot, but just a little. But with all of the fuckery that's going on, right? That is constant from this demonic regime that is in office. And it was the end of June, which was a couple of days ago. I read about the Department of Homeland Security wanting to end the protected status, the temporary protected status of those who are from Haiti who are in this country, and the intention to deport Haitians, like 500,000. And so it just triggered for me again, just all of the fuckery, all of the abuse that our brothers and sisters, like people of African ancestry, period. But at that moment, I was focused on that particular breaking news story. Now, we know that a Supreme Court judge has since blocked that order, but who knows? It's like a seesaw, right? Like, who cares? The way that our people of African ancestry, no matter what country you're in, we're treated like garbage piles, right? But it made me stop what I was planning and say, we got to talk about this, not just from a victim type of a thing, but I wanted to do what I've always done as a social justice activist and lift up this particular community amongst others. But you came to mind, is my point. You came to mind. And what did I call you a couple of days ago? I was like, yo, I know it's this July 4th weekend, but I need you. And here you are. So thank you. I definitely wanted to talk about all of the good things, why we love Haiti so much. I wanted to talk about your amazing work with community to community. And so let's start, if you don't mind, let's start with your origin story as a daughter of Haiti. Let's start there, if you don't mind.
God does not call the qualified. He qualifies the called. And oftentimes in my life, I have felt neither called nor qualified. And on January 12th, 2010, as I was leaving my job at Amex to go back home to Brooklyn, I did not know that when I came up the stairs that I would be asked to heed a call. As I was coming up the stairs, my phone was on fire. Where are you? What is going on? Are you seeing this? Oh my God. I run home and I turn on the TV and my eyes are salted. People are covered in blood and debris. And that's how I learned that my country, Haiti, has been struck by 7.2 magnitude earthquake. 316,000 people are dead. 1 million are left homeless without access to food, water, medical help. My heart broke in my chest. But as I was watching, I saw an elderly woman who was laying on the ground and her back was completely exposed. And I started screaming at the TV. Why is no one covering her up? That's somebody's grandmother, somebody's aunt. Why is no one covering her up? Are we not doing human dignity anymore? Somebody needs to go and do something. And as clearly as you're hearing my voice right now, I hear you go. Lord, I clearly said somebody needs to go do something. I'm not qualified. I'm not an engineer. I don't have a nonprofit. I'm not a nurse. Zero. No, silence. I didn't feel qualified. I didn't know what to do, but I knew who would. My dad. I knew that had he been alive, he would have been the first person on a plane to help. And in that moment, I knew what I had to do. I quit my job at American Express and I was on the next plane to help. I did it scared. Instead of running away, I leaned in. I learned everything I had to learn. I came back, I connected with people, and I created community to community. I felt the fear and I did it anyway. I am called, I am qualified. 13 years later, community to community works with vulnerable and exploited communities in Haiti who desire self-sufficiency. 15 years later, I am a restorer of dignity, and I teach others to do the same. But here's the kicker, and here's the secret. Heeding the call is not even about you. It's about all of the people's lives you will impact for the good. So whoever is listening, I implore you, especially in these times, if you feel you believe that you are called, do not wait to be qualified. Heed the call. Heed the call.
That is powerful. That is tremendously powerful. And I think the first thing really should have been out of my mouth is thank you. Right? Thank you. And I want to zone in that you said you were scared and yet still. You didn't think you were qualified and yet still. There is and guys, I'm gonna ask my producers to go to your Facebook page and find that before and after picture. Let's pull that for the audience. At some point we'll show it through the course of this conversation. But on your Facebook page, because I've been blessed to be supporting community to community since day one in some shape, form, or fashion, right? Yep. So I've been following, and then that reminder that you recently posted, the before and after, is an amazing testament, a visual testament of what happens when, to your point, when you heed the call, even though you're scared, even though you have fear, and even though you may feel unqualified, because your organization and all of those amazing people that have wrapped their arms around your organization have saved lives. But let me rewind. Talk to me about your relationship with your father. Why did he break through in that moment, if you don't mind my asking?
He's gone a long time, but the hole he left is really big. My father would say, Haiti is not a perfect country, but it's my country. And that was probably the best thing that he could say. He did not romanticize the situation. And he was not in denial, but he surely was not going to talk about the beach, the food, the culture, the music, right? In my house, I remember growing up in two worlds, arguably three when I left. But my mom was Haiti crasé, which is Haiti is broken.
Mm.
I don't want nothing to do with it. It hurt me. My father was Haiti chéri, Haiti my heart. So I traveled with him to his hometown. And that love was poured into me. So when the earthquake happened, he used to say that God works everything out for good. In that moment, I could not see what good could come out of this situation at all.
Mm-hmm.
But it did. Because the earth shook, my heart broke open. And that's what it took for me to leave everything and go. And God is very smart. So he makes the call very sexy. I have to say that. He makes the call mad sexy because you're like, I'm on a mission from God, right? 2 weeks later, I'm like, who's going to pay the rent now?
Because you quit your job.
I did.
At American Express, you quit your job.
Yeah. It's like health insurance. Yeah, I forgot about that. So yeah, those things. And so you're just like, are you going to handle that? Like, who's in charge going forward, right? But I will give God the credit. I was never hungry, never homeless the entire time. If anything, I ate more and I was healthier climbing up and down a mountain on a regular basis. So there's that. But my father gave me the love that I have for my country. He was a man of duty and principle and community and family. And he used to say, live your life right for your parents, for your children, rather. Live your life right for your children. As a teenager, I was like, whatever. I wasn't listening. But when I went down there in 2010, the only reason I'm able to do what I'm doing is because he left that legacy. When people heard that Gerard Zeb's daughter, MarieYolaine, was there, they helped me. So I don't know how many people he helped.
Right.
That felt. So I had credit already, an interest that had built up.
Right. Say his name again, please.
Gerard is his name. Jean Gerard UCB, Jean Gerard Euseb.
Oh, see, when I knew you, let's give respect and pay homage to your father and to your mother. Yes, we do that here. And when I met you when we were in school, you just shared with me unknowingly that we have been pronouncing your other name wrong for years. We were pronouncing it UCB. I just heard you say it very differently.
Yeah, I think when we got to the country, I remember having kind of like a family meeting because people were like UCB, Erzaby. People put letters in there that were not in the. I was like, Erzaby. Okay. And then we're just like, can we all just agree on like one thing? Because the Euseb was difficult, right? So we just netted out at UCB, and that was it. And we went forward with that.
Yes. And now your name is even, as you said, you've evolved. So so those who don't know the language, pronounce your name because we want people to get it right. We want to respect people's identity, right? Because we had to do it over.
I have to say, in this moment right now, I'm happy to be on Ascending because I feel seen right now. I feel like you care about me, and you always did. But I just want to publicly say that right now. When I came here when I was 5, so I started first grade here, and I was sitting in class. I spoke no English. There was no ESL. There was no English as a second language. There was none of that stuff. It was the 70s, right? So I'm sitting in class. In the back, they had what was called immersion, which is out. So I'm sitting in the back of the class, and the teacher is at the front calling out names. So she's like Adams, Brown, Collins, Davis, Frank, Johnson.
just skipped over. I'm not laughing because it's funny.
Oh no, it is because I'm 6. So I'm just like, at some point, because people are raising their hands. So I kind of figure out what's going on. And then at the end, she looks at me and she points at me and she's like, come here. So I walk up to her desk and I'm standing beside her and she goes, and I said, it's me, right? And she says, what is this? And I said, MaReeYoLen is up. She says, no. And again, I'm piecing it together, but it was clear. No, right. That's not going to work. Your name is Marie Brown. When I say Marie Brown.
Wow, she went there?
You raise your hand. You, Brown. Understand? And I must have. So I did it because I was 6 and I couldn't defend myself. And there was nobody there to defend me. And that was it. 4 years until I went back home. And you don't even know that you've been traumatized. You don't even know that you've been stripped of your identity. You don't even know that what was done to you was wrong. That somebody just redefined you and just sent you out there, right?
Completely.
I look back now. Yes, laziness. So when I went back home for the second time, because I'd gone back with my dad periodically, but I hadn't been home in 16 years when I went back in 2010. And I remember by the end of the week, we had gone up the mountain because the person who was a friend of my dad's was like, there's a group you should meet. I want to show you this community. We went up there. And by the time we were going, apparently the word had gone out. You know, we as a people, right? Call and response is real. So I'm going up and the people are like, bonjour, MaReeYoLen. MaReeYoLen, comment est? MaReeYoLen. And I was so emotional. I hadn't heard my name in a long time. So I'm going up and it's like, MaReeYoLen, Yolene, merci, nous well, we Yolene. And I'm waving because for a while I didn't turn around because I didn't even know who they were talking to.
Wow.
So I got up there. When I came back, I was like, this is my name. And this is how you pronounce it. If you are Haitian, it's easy. It's MaReeYoLen. The R is difficult. So I'm good with MaReeYoLen. Yo like Yo MTV Raps, that I'm sure everybody understands. And Len like Lenny. Yolene. MaReeYoLen. I practice with folks because I'm not offended because I know. And then my people from 1984 and 1975 have only known me as Marie UCB. They didn't even know.
Right.
You didn't know.
I didn't know. When we were in school together and organizing and beating up alphas and stuff.
It happened once when the whole AIDS Haitians thing was happening.
Yes.
And we had that massive protest, and I was part of the Haitian Students Association. And I went on to the the Capitol grounds, and like they had shut down the Brooklyn Bridge in New York and shut down DC. And that was one of probably the first times, knowing Gotti was preparing me. That was one of the few times I heard my name said correct. Because there was a bunch of Haitians. They were like, Marie, that can't be. What is your name? Not just.
Right. You can't just, yeah. I love that story. I love that you shared that. Because I didn't know. Well, what I should have assumed, there's so much depth to you. And this is my wonderful opportunity, of which I'm so grateful, to break ground, right? That's what we do here at Ascending.
Yeah.
But this is a good thing to go back to what I said before about the work that you were called to do, though you were scared, fearful, and unqualified at the moment. I want to show for the audience, guys, you can pull it up, the before and after picture that I referenced earlier, right? This is the work of community to community. So can you break it down for those who know nothing of your organization, and what is that before and after picture about, please?
Sure. So our vision is development with dignity. There's a saying that says, when I feed the people, they call me a humanitarian. But when I ask, why are the people hungry? I'm called a revolutionary.
Who said that? Where'd that from?
I saw it on a wall at my colleague's. She teaches at CUNY. The name wasn't on there, but I
Oh, that's
wrote it
amazing.
on my heart.
Yes.
I was like, yes. So I asked, why are the people hungry? Which made me leave my job because I could have written a check, but this was personal for me. So the check was not enough. This community, when I land in Port-au-Prince, I drive 2 hours to Petit Goâve. Then we drive 1 hour up the mountain. Then we walk an hour to get here to this valley, right? So folks don't even know where they are. The stakeholder association, kind of like what we would call the block association here in Brooklyn, like you can't go do anything to your house or to whatever unless you talk to the block association.
Right.
So after the earthquake, a lot of stakeholder community associations came up to just protect their community, right?
Right.
So people wanted to come and do, because there was, this is documented, so y'all can look it up, that when the earthquake happened, there were many who was like, ooh, gold rush, money about to be made.
Of course.
So folks had to protect themselves because they knew that the money was going to be made off of them, not with them, not for them, but off of them. So when we met this community, again, isolated, vulnerable, the community association met with us and literally put us through the ringer.
Put you through the ringer in what way? Like how?
We don't know you. We don't know you. We don't know what you're going to do. And FYI, we sent 17 proposals to other organizations. Did nobody reply?
So why are you here?
And why are you here? Right. And as a woman said to me, as I was going up the mountain one day, she was like, if you take a picture of my child, you need to pay me because I know you're going to make money off of it. Yeah. Everybody's hip to what's happening.
Of course.
So when we got up there, the community association had started a school because there was no school. So these children were not attending school at all. So there's 4 guys who whose parents had made sure they went to school in Petit Goâve proper in the city. And they, architects, engineers, technicians, came back up to help. That's how the association started. So this was what was left after the earthquake. And then we worked with them at the table, because he already drew the plans for the school, which is what you see here.
Yes.
And, Responsable Jean is his name. And we went from what you see there to now, and that school literally only went to 6th grade. So we are now, kindergarten, 1st through 6th, and now we go to 12th grade, right? And why is that important? It's important because the 6th graders would often leave and go into the city by themselves.
Okay.
And you're sending your 12, 11-year-old child. Sometimes the young girls would come back pregnant. Sometimes they would be working for folks, never going to school. So the goal was, let's have them be at least 18. So now they're in college, they have the experience and the maturity that if they're going to go somewhere else besides here, we know that they're okay.
Yeah.
It took years to get there, but we're glad that we are here.
Yeah. That's amazing, life transforming work that your organization has done. And I thought that was important to share that, because what we know that, like you said, there were people ready, bloodlust ready when the earthquake came. And not just with this natural disaster, but anytime there's a natural disaster, the vultures hover, right? And what was so, what we're always looking for is organizations like yours that want to help the communities and not, like you said, make money off of, but not just help, but to ensure that there isn't the constant, relentless need for foreign aid. Can we talk about that? Because that is critically important. And I know there's a movement amongst some wise people to break the chains of constant foreign aid. Can you elaborate, please?
I can, and thank you so much, because that's such an important question. And I encourage everyone who's watching, this is all, you can literally search foreign aid and the charitable industrial complex, and this is all information. I encourage folks, educate yourself, right? So $13 billion is what was raised in the name of my people, of my country. $13 billion.
With a B.
With a B. Of that, less than 0.001% ever made it to the ground. And of that, less than 0.001% made it to actual Haitian organizations that were on the ground.
I'm going to need you to say that again.
$13 billion was raised in the name of the Haitian people after the earthquake. And of that amount, less than 0.001% even made it to the ground. And then roughly half of that actually made it to the hands of the hospitals, the doctors. There are Haitian-led organizations on the ground that could have benefited from this. And we know that this didn't happen for two reasons. Number one, I'm sure most people have heard that the Red Cross built a hotel with $76 million that they had recovered in our name, and that was it. So it was a very expensive hotel. The other is when Hurricane Matthew happened in 2016, it showed that none of the infrastructure work that was promised happened because flooding was everywhere. So it is, and again, there are organizations that are on the ground that could have made a real difference. I did not have to leave my job because there is an infrastructure that is already set up. And the people were never asking for handouts. They were asking for collaboration, partnership, investment.
Right.
But that is not what they received.
Right. And the spiritual connection that you and I have and the intellectual connection that you and I have and everybody that thinks like you is this anti-imperialism, this because this reeks of that, right? And all of these, and people who want to come and give support and their hearts are pouring out are not clear of the vultures and the white celebrities that come up with this white centering, whether they know it or not, their whiteness and their stature and their celebrity is centered. And then we're over here clapping our hands, but we're not doing the math. We don't have the historical context. We don't know that by and large, too many people have not given a damn about not just, in this moment, we're talking about Haiti, but also people of African ancestry, people who are impoverished. And that's the cycle that you're breaking.
Yes.
Yes.
That is absolutely right. There's something that you said that brought something to my mind. What the American people, the people that have given to community, I'm able to separate them from policy, from administration, right? Because I have to, because it is the people who have a heart for generosity, the people who read, the people who know Haitian history, the people who know history with the United States. Those people get us. They are not, I'm not for everybody.
Right.
I'm good with that. Right. I do not dance on the pole for the money. No disrespect to anybody who dances on the pole for money. I'm saying it specifically as it relates to charity, which I am not a charity. I'm a service and development organization. So this for me is, I attract people who want to see progress. I attract people who want to see results. I attract people who demand that when they give us money, that they're going to see exactly where it went, because we will report on that. There's videos on that. If you go to our website, you go to our YouTube, you're not wondering, what is going on here? What do these people do? You will see it. Also, you will also, yes, we are the world. That's a whole other conversation.
Yeah.
You will see that most of the videos I'm not in. Do you know why? Because the people are grown. They do not need me. These are adults. Because imagine this, you are a child and you see your mother or your father go stand in line for 4 hours for someone to hand them a bucket of rice, right? You learn very quickly who's in charge here.
Yeah.
Who
Yeah.
has power. Then you have another generation, because guess what you're going to do? You're going to grow up to stand in line.
Right.
Right?
Right.
So I know I'm challenging some people's thoughts, and I want to do that. I want you to think about, why do you give? What do you give to? As opposed to saying, instead of me giving you a can of rice, how about I give you seeds? How about I let you farm your own land? How about you then can feed your own family and take that to market? We have an initiative that involves goats for milk, for meat, and for market. We invest the goats into it's a very agricultural place on the mountain, so that they have the goats, they get milk, meat, and what they don't use, they take to market. We've never handed anything out, because it's not what we do.
Right. But you know what you're making me think of? We have a responsibility, those who have the means to give, be it time, talent, or treasure, as the saying goes.
Amen.
Those of us who have those means, we have a responsibility, if we're going to be honorable contributors, right? If we're going to be honorable and diligent and revolutionary in our giving, then we have a responsibility to not be led by our emotions every time there's a commercial that comes on and you automatically think you're doing a good thing. And I'm not shaming people, right, for giving. I'm not shaming people for their heart being broken and they want to do something. What I am saying, in alignment with what you're saying, is that you got to do your due diligence.
Yes,
and if the limits of your imagination is the American Red Cross, then you've not read a book, or maybe not the ones that you should have, about the history of the American Red Cross and how the history says they don't give a damn, internationally or here.
Yes.
We have a responsibility to do our due diligence to uncover organizations like yours. And I'll pause there, because I'm getting
No, listen, like I said, I am thankful for this space, because look, I'm not here to make friends. I'm here to make sense. Okay? It's important. It really is. That it has taken me, this has been a existential journey for me. That when I left my job, I was corporate minded. I wanted to make sure everybody was happy. I didn't want to offend anyone. I gave those speeches.
You colored inside the lines?
Yes. And when I went home, I took a shower because I felt disgusting. I'm just being honest. I did, because I felt like, what am I going to say to these people to make them feel sorry for me and feel sorry for these people so that they'll give us money? It is disgusting. I'm just being honest. So to start there and be where I am now, well, I'm just like, I went in June Cleaver and I'm like, Eldridge Cleaver? I'm not here for the game.
You Fannie Lou Hamer, you're that version. Remember, we talked about that when Liberation Farm was here, and we did all of that on Fannie Lou Hamer about the pig farm. You know what I mean? So, man, I'm sorry. I go ahead. I'm just excited that
I'm just saying that, again, God knows how to make the thing sexy, right? So I didn't think I needed to change my mind about anything. I thought I was good. I'm going to go help the people. But again, he broke me. So in the process, it's always an exchange, right? It's not a transaction, right? If you won't let the people you're helping touch you, I question your motive.
Man,
I question your motive. If you won't let the people that you're touching that you say you're helping touch you, I question your motive. And I'm speaking for myself, right? And this has happened to me. We were on a trip and one of the girls was braiding my hair. And I was showing this picture like at a presentation or something. And someone in the back was like, you let them touch you?
Wow.
Okay, so what? So again, I understand that mindset because we are fed such a strong narrative of not this, it's this, and it's this.
Ah,
So I
that
am superior to you, and whatever I give you, you should take because you are the amorphous poor people.
right. You're the garbage pile, the
Yeah.
human garbage pile.
Yes, you are whatever that's in my driveway or in my closet, whatever. But here's how you shift. And this takes courage because it makes you meet yourself at the seat of your soul. Would I give someone this shirt? I love this shirt. It's cute. It looked cute on me. This is the shirt I should give because this has value to me. I should give you something of value because you are of value to me. I should not give you something that is of no value to me.
Yes.
Something that costs me nothing. And this is the mindset even I was in. And the elders had to pull me to the side because as soon as they heard me speak Creole, they were like, well, yeah, we need to talk to her. Yes, they did. They did do
transformation. Let me ask you this. Do you feel an obligation to those who are not where you are now, right? This is you came to this as a grown-ass woman, as an adult with a college education, right? And you still had to be transformed. So what say you of those who are also adults and all they know is that they're supposed to help? They're good people. They care. You are criticizing me giving my hard-earned dollars. You're trying to tell me how to give and how to feel. Like, that's not fair. I don't have to do anything. And now you're criticizing me, although you're putting it in nice words, but you're criticizing my giving. What do you say to those people who can't hear the essence of what you're talking about and them not understanding that there's levels to this? I know you've dealt with this.
Number one, I have moved from anger to action because it did used to frustrate me. Like I told you, I went home to take a shower where I had to hear, they're really poor. I mean, it's really bad there, right? Because they're so poor, it's terrible. And I'm like, I can't co-sign this. As an empath, I have to guard my whole self because I will take that with me, right? I'm at peace that I'm here to educate. I'm here to give observations. If you are on a journey that you are growing and that you are maturing and that you want to be a better student of life, even though, what is the thing that says, wounds from a brother can be trusted? I love everybody. So if, as a member of humanity, because to be human is to be aware of yourself, right? To see other people, whether that they're rich, poor, or suffering, not, whatever, is to realize you're part of humanity. And if you're part of humanity, then it is okay that I should say to you, listen, I'm listening to the words coming out of your mouth, like, are we going to be able to take pictures with the poor people? It's really bad. Like they're never going to get better, right? I cannot co-sign that. I used to. So I used to be you. I understand that my need to give was about me. But now, when it's the calling, it is not about me. So if I show up to your house, April R. Silver, and you say, these are the paint cans I bought, I want to do this blue. And I tell you, no, I brought yellow because that's the color I like. To tell you that I'm going to paint your house yellow, I'm not helpful. I cannot curse you out and tell you, well, didn't you want my help? You said you wanted my help. So now my help is contingent. My help is only the help I want to give you. And if you don't take that help, then I will not help you. And that takes internally.
Yeah. Yeah. And this is universal.
It is.
This is long-standing. This is the unwillingness of those who are narcissistic, and it's under the guise of giving and philanthropy and all of that good stuff. So, but you're a fire starter, and you know that fire burns and it can cleanse. You know what I mean?
It's great that you said that, because people ask me that a lot. Why is it the fire starter? And I say, because I start fires in people. But it's the fire that burns but does not consume, right? Because if you have a fire that's just burning up stuff, then you're a destroyer. But if your fire is focused, and if that fire is holy, if that fire is righteous, if that fire is not about you, then it's not going to consume you, and it's not going to consume anyone else. So the people I am now, like I said, I had to kind of cleanse myself.
Yes.
And I feel like the people I'm drawing now are like-minded, who understand we want to be worked out of a job. We want to not be needed anymore. Who understand that when they're giving, they are philanthropic investors. We have a group called C2C Neighbors. They have been given, I am one, because I don't ask nobody to do what I won't do. So I am a C2C neighbor myself. I give monthly to my own organization.
Right. And
the folks who give, they give monthly, and they can see the results of their giving.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. I'm encouraging anyone, check the receipts, man. Like, if you've been giving to a kid in Nicaragua when he was 5, that dude is 45 years old right now. So, I mean,
right.
Just the math. Let's do math.
Just the math. We're gonna close out, not right now, but we're headed. So I want to do this break for a second, because we're gonna get to your books right after I make this announcement.
Okay.
Everybody, thank you for watching. This is what you get when you come to Ascending, right? We don't give a damn about July 4th weekend. This is what you get when you come here. So again, to support independent Black media, you can't say that this conversation moves you. You can't say that you like this show and you watch it every week and you don't press the like button. You don't subscribe to the Marc Lamont Hill official YouTube channel, and you don't share. Like, then that's a contradiction. Really and truly. If you like this, then you got to show your support. Please, we're asking to concretize what you say you believe in. And that's important, because we get to say what we want on the Marc Lamont Hill official channel, where Ascending is the only new show that he has, because he's a smart man. But MaReeYoLen, the question was asked, how can we help? And here we are doing our bookmarks, and we're setting up behind stage before we go live. And true to who you are, like, I got 3 books. Can I share them? I was like, yes, you can be a part of bookmarks. So the guys will put each selection, and you tell us why you wanted to contribute. Because I say this because how we can help, the education is foundational. And then we'll put up the website again, right? So let's start with whatever book the guys want to put up first. I know. Yeah, there we go.
Oh, look at you. I don't know how you knew that's the one I wanted to see. So super shout out to whoever just made that happen. So this is great. So within C2C's principles, pillars, etc., we have 3 E's. Expose people to the organization, educate them about what we're doing, and engage them to move from being spectators to being participants in this work, right? So this book was one of the books that, again, challenged me. And I felt like, oh my gosh, I've been doing this all wrong, right?
Can I interrupt for one second, if I may? For those who are listening and not watching, the book is Toxic Charity: How Churches and Charities Hurt Those They Help and How to Reverse It. The author is Robert D. Lupton.
Mhm.
Just for those who are listening and not watching. Continue, please.
Thank you. So this is a really good book. As we said, educate first, right? Because again, they used to say back in the day, whoever in the chat knows this is going to be like we're all the same age. The store was called Sims, and their tagline was an educated consumer is our best customer, right? So for me, for this organization, an educated consumer is our best donor, right? Because they're going to know what they're getting into. I will tell you one clip in this, and then we'll move on. There's a great story in there where a nonprofit leader, just like me, was talking. I think they were in a Latin American country, and he said that he would have missionary groups come in like every month to paint a wall of this makeshift school, right? So every month they're coming and they're painting this wall. So he said, so let's think about this. Each person paid a ticket, probably about $250 or $500. So right there's about 20 of them, right? So about $20,000, $10,000 plus lodging, right? Plus food. So easily this group spent about 35 to 40 grand. And he said, it's the same wall that a different group paints. If they would instead donate and invest $30,000, our whole community would have changed. But you turned my community into a community of beggars. That's what he said.
Wow.
So this is how you change your mind, right? That's one. Two, another thing he talks about, everybody's heard this before, that if you give a man a fish, you feed him for a day. If you teach a man to fish, you feed him for a lifetime. But here's my question. What if you don't have access to the lake? You don't have access to the lake. He's just a hungry fisherman.
Right.
You need access. This is a very important word. Access to the lake is how you can eat forever. It's how you start a fishing business. It's how you feed your family. You see what I'm saying? So it's not just give folks skills. They need access to actually use those skills. So this is why I recommend this book. And this is very, how do I say? It's a good entry book.
Yes, clear. Thank you for that. Absolutely amazing. And I wish this narrative about breaking the need for foreign aid, like I said, it's been a movement, it's been a narrative for a very, very long time. And there's a Black woman, I'm gonna have to come back next week because I can't, we're gonna get the resource page up, but there's a Black woman, I first heard about her on WBAI radio years ago that talked about this. She was a part of that, that movement, and the African woman, as a matter of fact. So I'll find it and I'll share it with you. If you don't, you know what I'm talking about?
Her name is like something. I see her all the time where she says that charity doesn't work, investment does.
Yes.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Our resource page is coming, so we'll make sure that it's there. But I needed to say that because I wanted to shout out this African woman, even though I don't know her name, but we'll find it. But let's go to the next book, whichever one you guys put up. You'll give the backstory because I know there are 3 titles. There we go.
So this is the Black Jacobins. This is the story. If you want to know the history of Haiti, if you want to understand it contextually, because this is very important. I know most of the people who are listening right now have already heard the poorest country in the Western Hemisphere.
I would like to
replace that, and I would like you to replace it with the most exploited country in the Western Hemisphere.
Say that again for the people in the back, please.
Replace the poorest country in the Western Hemisphere narrative with the most exploited country in the Western Hemisphere.
Yes.
For everything. For everything. And I want y'all to sit on this for a second. I am Haitian. My country was never supposed to exist. Do you understand that? Never.
Right.
The concept of Haitian was because of a revolution that a whole people was birthed out of that.
Yes.
Deep. When I stop and think about that, That is deep. So I, again, implore you, read the books that nobody's telling you about. The Black Jacobins is one of them, right? Where you
But
understand.
I'm sorry, let me, if I
Mhm.
may, by C.L.R. James, for those who are listening and not watching. Yes.
Thank you, April. The history is so important. I'm just going to give you just little things that, again, people should know. So again, this country was colonized by France. Then Spain created the DR. The country itself was supposed to be a sugar and coffee plantation.
Mm-hmm.
That's it, just the land to do that. Basically worked by enslaved labor, right? The coffee and the sugar, it was one of the most profitable properties owned by France because of the sugar. It was called the Pearl of the Antilles, right? The wood also there was specifically for the French aristocracy. So everything that was there was produced to support a lifestyle over there. I say this, another book that's not up here is Bitter Sugar. I forgot to say that. You should read that. That gives you the history of the sugar cane industry, sugar in general. I say this to say, what narrative have you heard? Oh, Haiti's deforested. You know, they're always cutting down the trees for charcoal. This is the square. This is the frame. You need to see the whole frame. So when you understand that the deforestation, again, was, if you had enslaved labor, I guess you wouldn't have that, right? Because they'd be sending it where it goes. And that, what's the word I'm looking for? It's an insatiable appetite for the coffee, for the sugar. So until Toussaint Louverture said, nada. And we engaged what everyone, again, already knows as the first successful rebellion by enslaved Black people to become a country.
Right. And then we also hear that Haiti has been paying the price ever since.
Yes.
That the lack of development is their own fault because they can't get it together, because they're nothing but gangs and all this other kind of stuff. We don't hear about the role that the United States and other countries in France did to underdevelop that island nation. You know what I mean? It's that we could do part 2, 3, 4, and 5. You know, talk about.
I would love to do that, because that part I think is really important of what you just said. That this is history that goes back. I literally had to go look at from 1492.
Yes.
The genocide of the Taino natives happened because of Columbus, right?
Yes.
That happened. So we have to go all the way back there.
Yes.
To 1915 with the invasion and the removing of all of the gold of our reserves, and then the puppet dictators. You know what I'm saying? So if you keep a group unstable, right? If you create an environment, it's like I turn you into an animal and then I'm like, April, why are you acting like an animal?
Yes.
But I've stripped you of your house. I've stripped you of your name. I have stripped you of access to resources and education. And now you're living in the woods. And then I literally come to you and go, why are you living in the woods?
And you go and tell the world, look at those demons over there. You know what I mean?
Only the brain, right?
Right.
Only the spirit in the woods.
Right. We're not going to even talk about the spirituality. That part that's been demonized as well. It's a whole nother conversation. But let's go to the last book. Oh my gosh, because we could talk. Or we could talk. Let's go to the last book. Yes. Tell us about for those who.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
The White Man's Burden by William Easterly is the book. If you're listening and not watching, the floor is yours.
So you see, even on this picture, for those who are listening, it's a line of people. And there's a young boy who's in the middle. There's people in front of him, people behind him. This is the purpose of all of the plans, is to keep this going, is the stand in line state, the stand in line country, right? This book is deep because it actually has data in it, like all of the plans that were put in place to create this situation and why we are in the situation that we are geopolitically, right? Because we can look at it the way that everyone else has been trained to look at it. Or, as I said before, my dad, if you talk to my dad, he would be just like, did you go to the beach? Have you had the food? You know, do you know the culture? Because we are, as they will say on the mountain, vierge, which is virgin. It is an undeveloped. I do not think it is underdeveloped because it has not had a chance to develop, because we have been paying a ransom
Yes.
for our freedom.
Say that.
That's what happened. And I was looking because I was trying to find the amount. I think it was, there it is. Because I was like, let me come with the receipts here. So France retaliated in 1825, forcing Haiti to pay 150 million francs, later reduced to 90 million. Economists estimate today that that would be 21 billion to 150 billion dollars.
That France said to Haiti that you got to pay us.
That is correct. And
you didn't let us eat off of you.
yes,
how dare you revolt? Sorry.
When this came out, it was also learned, because the other thing that folks like to say is that was in the past, right? So we should just all move on. But what was revealed, and I think it was the New York Times, I believe, who did an excellent expose on this. If you look it up, I'm sure you can find it, where the families from the 1800s were still getting remittances.
Wow.
Now, today, wow. Right?
Wow.
So folks are just quiet, but still collecting that check.
Right.
Right. Off of the poorest country. And why can't they get their act together? And Haiti's always getting a bad break. No, it's not. I can no longer in good conscience say that. But this book will give you, like I said, it will give you the facts.
Yeah. This is why ascending is so important, and people need to subscribe. I don't even know how to end this. Well, I'm not. There's no such thing. There's no such thing. It's this is a segment. This whole episode is a segment. Because we didn't even get to everything. But wait, guys, I need you to break the fourth wall. Did we do Black Media shout out? Sorry, my brain is like,
no, you did not.
We did not. Thank you, Kevin. So we're going to close out, because I want to do just a little bit, MaReeYoLen, just a little bit about your financial liberation. It's not as much time as I want to give it, because we're running out of time, but you're going to come back, right? That's for real. But you know, because you've watched episodes, that we do bookmark and then we do Black Media shout out, because that's just who I am. We got to give. I can't say I respect Black thought and Black people and Black media and not give people resources. So let's go to, I wanted to shout out the Haitian Times, right? So this is just a source, a online newspaper that was founded in 1999. It's based in Brooklyn, at least as far as I know by all data, and it's written in English for the Haitian diaspora here in New York and beyond. But this is just one of many sources. I encourage people to do their own Black Media shout out, do their own work to find out where we are talking about our breaking news, our story, our context, where there's debate, you know what I mean, in our communities. This is one. There are others. Find your own, but let ascending be a stepping stone. For those who are listening and not watching, that's the Haitian Times, is the online publication that I'm talking about, founded in 1999. The website is HaitianTimes.com. So before we go, I know I keep saying this. Tell me about the I. HAITI is one way to spell Haiti. HA, and I don't know what the I with the double dot.
Two I's. That is the correct way to spell it, right? But there's also IET, which is how the spelled it, right? Which is AYITI, IET, right?
Yes.
So that is one. It's just, you know, they just removed the, what is the word? They just removed the accent on it. And I wanted to say also, something that you just said about the Haitian Times. Also online, I will add La Union Suite and Faces Haiti are other places. One thing I can say about the Zoes, about because I came here a long time ago when I was the only Haitian in my school, only Haitian anywhere. And to see the generations coming up behind me who are taking over Instagram, they're like, you can talk about Haiti like this, but I'm going to talk about Haiti like this.
Love
I
it.
love them all. They inspire me. And I also want to say I saw some of the folks in the chat. I also want to shout out the Haitian Women's Collective, of which I'm a member, that also we span the entire country, all the way from Dondon in the north to Tiguave in the south. There are many organizations that are doing really great work, and we all know each other, right? Haiti Policy House is another that you can find out. This, I'm so excited.
Yes.
Is it the word for, I'm going to say this is the last thing I'm going to say. Crisis. I think it's in Japanese is danger and opportunity. We are in danger, 100%. But this is also an amazing opportunity to invest in organizations like C2C and others, because you will see the investment on your return.
That's for sure. Let's put your Instagram. We're gonna on the screen is gonna be your Instagram. On the screen is gonna be your website and your Facebook, because we can't possibly get to everything here, but people can do their own due diligence. You can't come here and be like, oh, this is great, and then you don't follow up and do your due diligence. So community, you say it the way you say it, MaReeYoLen. Remember how you say
for what the Instagram?
To community, and how you say it's the number 2.
Oh, yes. Community, the number 2 community for those who are listening. So not community TO, community, the number 2 community.
Yes.
That's Instagram.
Right. And the Facebook is C2C HAITI, C2C Haiti. Final thing, and then we're going to go to the comments. Final thing. You left your job at American Express. And I remember when you did. I was on Myrtle Avenue. We were talking on the phone, and I was like, wow. And you were talking about financial literacy and independence. And now, all these years later, you have a whole movement about financial liberation and how you support people with their money trauma. Let's let that be your last word for now. Just give us that insight, please.
Okay. So before C2C, I was already planning. And this is, again, God is funny, but no joke at the same time. So I was planning, because I'd started something called the Financial Freedom Workshop, and I'd helped a bunch of people become debt free because I did it myself. And I had a friend who had an unhealthy relationship with a certain shoe store, DSW, and I helped her. Because I also had the same unhealthy relationship. So helped her. Then she called a bunch of people to her house without telling me. And then this is how it started. So fast forward, I went to start C, and I just couldn't do both. But as of late, I've just felt the pull. So I'm back, because financial trauma is real. We are often in denial about what that is. So what is financial trauma? Someone dies, cleans out your savings. You lose your job. Your credit card folks are calling you because you can't pay anymore. You are traumatized. You are in a traumatized state, right? But the funny thing about trauma is that our bodies will adapt and adjust. So you can function, but that is not the way we're supposed to live. So right. I'm back, and I just did a 4 keys to master your money without a budget you hate. And I will also be doing a 2-day boot camp to help people not just break free, but stay free. Because it's not about getting to the top of the mountain, it's figuring out how to stay there.
Right. Let me geek out for a second. You know, I'm a big Michael Jackson fan, and he used to always say, amongst others, I'm sure, it's easy to get famous. You know, it's hard to stay famous. I don't know why that came to mind just now. talking about Michael Jackson. But what is the website for the financial liberation movement that you're heading? Give us that website, because we definitely want people to contact you.
Sure. It is focusedfire.life. So FOCUSED, focused fire, FIRE.life, LIFE, not .com.
Not .com, not .org, focusfire.life. I know the guys will put that in the chat.
And we're having the next workshop on the 19th. So, and it's free.
July, this month, July 2025.
Yep.
That's in two Saturdays. That
is correct, because this is the first Saturday of the month. Then the next one, I think, is the 12th. And then it's the one after that. But come get your head right. Come get your life right.
Yes, there it is on the screen. Focused Fire, FIRE. Let's put the website in there. MaReeYoLen, I think I want you to stay for the part where we go to April is here for the comments. But let's get that website up first for those who are watching and not listening. Focusfire.life for your financial liberation work. So while the guys are getting that on the screen, we are going to go to the comments. Oh Lord, they are on fire. Y'all know I don't like watching the comments while we're talking, but the comments are on fire. And so I like to scroll through them at the end. So you'll stay with me, right? As we close out this part, right? Okay. Let me go to the starred ones. Dr. Brenda Green is here. I shouted out the Center for Black Literature. That is our beloved Dr. Brenda Green. And she says, good morning. Good to be here. Looking forward to hearing the conversation on this weekend of paradoxes. Yes. Brenda, who is the founder of the Center for Black Literature at Medgar Evers College, has turned over the reins to Donna Hill. But I have to shout that organization out and Dr. Green, because Dr. Green picked me to head up as interim executive director in Kiro Books in Brooklyn. Edwards Dantica always shouts out Dr. Green in the center and in Kiro Books, because she used to go there before she got famous. You know what I mean? Like, the world is just this small. You know what I mean? So thank you, Dr. Green, for all the work that you've done and reminding us the importance of people like Edwards Dantica. We got people from Toronto and Texas. Shout out to what's going on in Texas with the floods. I don't know a whole bunch of details, but I know people have lost their lives because of this natural disaster in Texas. Let's go to my Mic Sounds Nice. An amazing podcast says educators can build up students or they can break them down. I am sadly not surprised by MaReeYoLen's story. Yes, educators. Well, I wonder if they're breaking the students down, they're not really educators. I mean, that might be their title on paper, but I get the point to those from my Mic Sounds Nice. So thank you for that comment. Your comments are important. Keep them going after this live. Reggie Jack says too many organizations operate under the guidelines of don't let an emergency go to waste. Whoa.
Wow.
They treat everything as an opportunity to make money, which is what you talked about so much. So Aaron from my team, Aaron, says, is responding to someone, and it says France should, for those who are listening and not watching, France should be shamed to return that money, or at the very least a portion or all, to your original point, Aaron. I wonder what case could be made before the United Nations, not to get answers there, but to start the discussion. Interesting. Because we're historians or seeking to learn more, and people know that this is some bullshit that France is on. Is there a deeper conversation there? Is there any credence about involving the United Nations? Has that happened, or do we know?
Where they are now is that there's been so much pressure, right? Because again, everything that was in the dark is coming out into the light now. So where they are now is that they've created a commission to discuss the reparations and to discuss this specific item. So I don't think it's going to go away, because again, there are a lot of Haitians in France, right? We helped build the Eiffel Tower. Fun fact.
Right.
So yeah, it's not going anywhere. Like I said, it is an exciting time to be alive. It
Yes,
really,
I would agree. And I don't have the fluidity of the language, but I know enough to know that all of these museums, right? And we're going to talk about a museum, and I'm not going to break that down 100% right now, but museums and the artifacts, how they make their millions and millions and millions of dollars, is because they're thieves. It's because they're thieves. They go into communities and they get what they call artifacts, which are actually charged elements of that culture, of that society, of functional things, be it mask or tools or artwork or amazing things, and they steal it from indigenous communities across continents, plural, and it ends up in a museum in a glass case, and you get people going to museums for decades and decades, and that's how these museums make their money. And but you've just raped the whole culture, and this is how, like, it's an industry beyond more than what I have words for. And then you get this over tourism. Did you, what was it last week when the staff at the in Paris, when there's like, yo, we out. I think we talked about it because it's over tourism, but we're supposed to be impressed with these museums as we walk into these sterile places, and you got all of our history and culture and art, quote unquote, artifacts in a glass box.
but think about this. This is why words are so important, right? We went to Howard, so we know, right? So hip hop rules the world. Everybody knows this, right? But how is that? Marketing? Marketing rules the world. So if I call it an artifact, we're done talking, because I've not told you that I went to a place and I took it and I didn't ask the people to whom it belongs, can I have it? That's a whole different story. Do you understand? So we've all been brought up in this narrative where we don't question. And then those people are demonized. So they don't deserve nice things anyway. So you see what I'm saying? It's we need to listen to the words that are being said. That when we put something in a museum, there are literal people who died, whose bodies should be buried, but they're not. That they're in a museum.
Right.
Would you like another group of people to do that to you? No.
Right.
So don't do it to them.
It's our dear friend, regular, loyal, diehard Rolando says museums are making so much money for the things that don't belong to them. This is absolutely what we're talking about. And if we're going to tell the truth, we have to say that some of our brothers and sisters are complicit in this. They open doors, right? They open doors so that the pirates and the pillagers, as we could say, as Natalie is saying, can come in, and they facilitate the stealing and the appropriation and all of those things. So we have to be honest, about that as well, because we're all human and we are glorious people, but some of us ain't kinfolk, right?
That's
that make it easy.
Kinfolk ain't kinfolk.
Yeah,
it's true. I think that what's important to how do I say, put out there as it relates to that is there's nothing new under the sun. We just have to be, that's why I said moving from spectator to being participant. When you change your mind about how you enter, how you engage, it all literally opens up to you, because you go, wait a minute, why are the people hungry? Like, it'll naturally come to you. Wait a minute. Yes. So whose things are these? Where did we get them from? And are they okay that we have them? Like, you'll start asking the questions, because guess what? There is an appropriate way that we can appreciate each other's culture without having to hurt each other and steal each other. We can do that. It's not impossible to be able to go and appreciate something as opposed to putting it in a cage. There is a way to we can live harmoniously with the planet and with each other. We just have to choose to do that.
There's a mindset that says, I don't give a fuck about that. Pay me now, right? And if I see it, it's mine. In the book by C.L.R. James, the Black, I've been pronouncing it wrong all this time, the Black
Jacobins.
Jacobins, I've been saying it wrong. The one thing when I read that when I was in school, when we were in school together, that I remember is just a simple quote. And I'm paraphrasing and I might mess it up a little bit, but the audience will get the gist before we close out for real, for real.
Let me tell you, you are so Haitian right now, just so we're clear. This is how I know all black people all over the world are the same, right? Be like, no, I gotta go. 2 hours later, we're at the car, my window's down, I'm sitting in the car, and you're like this. Anyway, girl. So 2 hours later, I'm telling you, the DNA is real.
Real. It's real. I'm Haitian. I'm a Black Baptist minister of the pulpit talking about another thing. Okay.
Oh my God, I love it.
All of it. Is real. And I'm proud. I'll take it all. But you remember the part in the book where I think the story was being told about the aristocrats. For some weird reason, they didn't have money or breakfast or whatever, and the child during one breakfast morning was asking for eggs, and the parent was like, "Well, we don't have eggs today because that, they always have food, but that particular, for whatever reason, maybe the revolution has started, didn't have eggs." And the child, in all of their entitlement and arrogance and ignorance, was like, "Oh, we don't have eggs, then I want two." I got to go back so I can clean that story up and say it more fluidly, but it is the epitome.
It still makes your point because
yes.
The thing in there is that it's generational, right?
Well, that part,
so,
yes.
I see one of my clients and one of my people in here, Nicole, she sent me something the other day. I'm putting this in my presentation. It said, it ran through my generation till it ran into me, right? So I am the end of something and I'm the beginning of something else, right?
Yes.
That's the choice that we all have. I will tell you that I hear you on all the people who are like this entitled person, that there's hope, right? And as a believer, I'm going to tell you, my prayer is very simple, that the harvest is plentiful, but the labor is few. So I pray for more laborers. Yes. Everybody tune in today who's in this comment section, these are the laborers, right?
Yes.
These are the folks that get it. So that gives me hope. I'm an optimistic realist. This gives me hope.
We are with you. We are with you. And Dr. Green and everybody else who had an unanswered question, she will be back. You heard her agree.
I agree.
You agree, right? So it's affirmed. So we will do this. So please tell everybody about this show, about the great work that we're doing. Please tell everybody about Community to Community. We're going to do our outros. We have a pennant. So MaReeYoLen, my sister, for all of these decades, through all of the organizations we've done, it is my honor to be sitting with you here this Saturday morning. So I thank you so much. I love you so much for giving a damn. And to everybody who's like, yo, MaReeYoLen is going to be on Ascending, hot damn. Yo, your community is strong. So I love you. It's hard to say goodbye, but I'll say so long. And we'll see you soon.
Thank you for having me on. Thank you, everybody who tuned in. And thank you to your team. They are fire.
I know. I would have to agree with you. Says the fire starter. Okay. See you next time. So family, we're about to do a pennant. And we're going to close out. Again, we thank you. Be sure we're here every Saturday morning at 11 a.m. We've not skipped a beat. Well, one Saturday, I needed some rest. But let's do our pennant as we close out. Thank you for the comments. So some of you know that I run a communications, marketing, and artist management firm, Aquila Work Songs. I'm very, very happy to say that we've been a marketing partner with the Whitney Museum. Contradictions noted. The Whitney Museum has a exhibition featuring the work of Amy Sherrill. There she is on the screen. It's It's now running as we speak until August 10th. If you are a part of the Put on Blast community that's been around for a minute, then you would have seen this in your email inbox. On the screen, we just saw Amy Sherald, or is it Sherald? I'm not sure. Sherald is her last name. She's a HBCU graduate. No, I don't know her. But she's an HBCU graduate from Clark, Atlanta. Born in Georgia, this American, Black woman, American painter. Her work is amazing. You see the marketing partnership as demonstrated on your screen. We are very happy to be doing honorable work with the Whitney Museum of Art in New York City. And we have another slide. So if you don't know Amy Sherald by the picture you just saw, you certainly, I'm sure, have seen this portrait of forever First Lady Michelle Obama. A Black woman did that. It is in the archives, and that Black woman artist has her first major exhibit in New York City. It is running now through August 10th. We want to encourage you to go see it before it closes. I want to talk about, lastly, then I'm really going to go. Amy Sherald has done honorable work in lifting up the name and the legacy of Breonna Taylor. You all might have seen this image that she painted that made the cover of Vanity Fair several years ago. But it's not just in the artistic depiction that Amy Sherald has lifted up the life and legacy and the importance of Breonna Taylor, but it's the money that she has donated and where she has lent her time and around the narrative of Breonna Taylor. Oh, it's Carrie DeBruce. Oh, my heart. Okay, see, Carrie, why did I have to see your name on the screen? Everybody, I just love Carrie DeBruce. This is my dear, dear friend. And of course, art director that Carrie DeBruce is, who I love and adore, and she's our art director here at Aquila Work Songs. She says in the comments that exhibit is amazing. So I'm very, very happy to share that. I've not seen it yet. I'm going to go see it very, very soon. And I just want you all to know. So that was our pennant for the day. Family, it is hard to say so long on this Saturday, but thank you for staying with us. We want to see your comments. Tell your people to watch the replay and comment, because it literally helps this channel, the Marc Lamont Hill official YouTube channel, stay important and stay in the algorithm. So hit that like button, make a comment, not just on the live chat, but when you go back and watch. It's really, really important. Thank you to everyone. And I can't wait who's next week? We're talking about HBCUs with the president of Virginia State University. We're going to talk about it all, the good, the bad, and what's next. Dr. Makola M. Abdullah is our special guest next Saturday, July 12th. We're going to be talking about HBCUs. He don't know a life too much without HBCUs, so his story is amazing, but he's going to give us the good, the bad, and what's next. Follow me on social media, me, April R. Silver, and also my company. We have some amazing content that we're doing this summer, some flashbacks. So thank you so much. I look forward to your constant support, and I appreciate it. And until next time, stay up.